Hey everybody, today we're going to go over how to use Realtracs, just the basics, some of the basic functionality of it. So we'll just get started. For Genovations Realty agents, I always suggest starting off at Agent Launchpad, and you'll click on this tile right here, get to Realtracs. If you need to sign in, sign in. The most basic function is going to be like any other website you use. If I wanted to look up Old Hickory houses, I'll put it in there, click the city. It's going to bring up everything that's available or under contract in Old Hickory because it's the basic setting. So that's where we're at. If you go back to the home screen over here, what we can do next is go up to this search. Across here, you have all your different options to go to different things. Here I'm going to pick listing search because that's what we're doing today. This is where you'll be able to dig in a little bit deeper for a particular client or yourself. So at the top, you would have residential, or I'm sorry, click on that residential, and this is where you can choose the type of the property types you want to look up. So residential would be your basic house that buy and sell for a client. Land, lots, and farms are going to be for land and things like that. You got rental, multifamily, commercial lease, and commercial sale. For today, we're just going to go for residential. Property subtypes. This gets you more detail into some subtype of properties you can search for clients, and you can hone in the type of search. So maybe they just want site built, or maybe they'd be willing to take a zero lot line or a duplex or a modular home, a manufactured home on foundation, a manufactured home that's mobile, an HPR, which is a horizontal property regime, attached or detached, condominiums, garden condos, flat condos, high-rise condos, loft condos, other condos, and finally townhouse condos. For this, I'm going to search everything, so I'm not going to click anything. That means that everything will come up. But again, if I wanted to be more specific, I could click on just site built, and only site built homes would come up. The next will be your listing status. You'll have active, coming soon, on hold, under contract showing, under contract not showing. You can look up your expired listings, your canceled listings, and even when we do comps in another video, you're going to find out how to use all of these, or closed and whatnot. But for today, we're going to do active and coming soon. All right, and then if I was looking at specific MLS numbers, I could type it in there. If my client sent me an MLS number, I can choose what counties I want to look in. So if I wanted to say Davidson, you just start typing it in and it'll pop up. I'm not going to though. If I want to look at a specific property that I know is for sale or I think might be for sale, I can put in the street number, the street name, and pay attention to that, the street number. So 1234 has to go there, and Johnson Street goes right here. You'd put your city, your zip code, subdivision. Again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do Old Hickory. So I can click in there. I could also go zip code instead. So I think I will do that. 37138. And I want to do 2. So I'm going to put a comma and then 37076. Let's do that. So now I have those 2. I could even look up subdivision. Now, I'll warn you, not all realtors are created equal, and some subdivisions are confusing. Even I live in a subdivision that we all coin as Hopewell, but only a couple houses in the whole neighborhood are actually listed as Hopewell. A lot of them are Hadley Bend City, and I've never heard anybody call this the neighborhood that. So just a heads up, that's what's in TACRIS records. That's what would most likely be pulled in. So it's usually better to circle over here the actual neighborhood you're looking for, and we'll show you that in a second. But all right, so we're looking at that subdivision. You can look up different schools, different elementary, middle school, high schools. You definitely want to put in a price range. So my clients are at a max of $450,000. They want a 3-bedroom and 2-bath minimum. Remember, you can put maximum for all these. You could put a minimum. They don't want a fixer-upper, so you know that nothing's going to come in this area, probably under 250. That's not a fixer-upper, so you would put that in there. So I want a primary bedroom on the main floor, that you can put that in there. Again, that one's risky because sometimes an agent will forget to put that in there. Actually has a primary on the main floor, but you didn't pull it up because you put that in there. But also your total baths, your square footage. Oh, sorry, I don't want, that's actually new. They changed that. This is beds on the main. I want total baths, so I would put 2. Square footage, you can, so let's say they want a minimum of 1,300, and they don't care what the maximum is, but you could put a max in there. Stories, you could put a minimum of 1. It probably isn't a minimum, but there might have a maximum of 1. Acres, how big the lot is, your built, total parking. If they want a garage, a minimum of 1 or 2 car garage, you'd put that in there, and then include auctions. Okay, I'm not going to include auctions. You can if you choose. So then I'd search, and there are 43 properties. Now let's say, well, my client decided they really like Old Hickory Village, which is this area right here. Now I'm going to actually redo, and I'm going to come over here. Sorry, I'm going to actually get out of that. So over here on the right of your map, you'll see I could click near me, which would bring me back to where I'm actually at this particular time. Can do drive time. That's a pretty cool thing. Tells you how far it is from one listing to another. You can add layers like satellite map, flood zone, topography, so how flat it is if you know how to read a topography map. We ain't teaching you that today. Zip codes, so it'll give you different areas of zip codes, and counties, so it'll put the lines in there for those 2 things. But we're not into that today. But what I am going to do is I'm going to draw. You can either make a circle, okay? So I could do it right in the middle of here and pull out, and it'll give me a circle. All right, that's one way to do it. I'm actually not going to do that. What I want to do is draw a more precise picture, so I can drag around this particular neighborhood, Old Hickory Village, and click like that, and then I can go back into search and click search, and now it only brings 2. Well, I want to see what everything they have, so I'm going to get rid of all my specific details, and I want to see what every property that's available in Old Hickory Village. So I'm going to delete everything that's in there, and then search again, and now instead of 3, we've got 2 more listings that popped up. And so we'll look at, all right, so this is the cheapest at $299, 1,200 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bath. So those are some of the ways that you can look. You can get rid of that grid, you can bring the grid back out. Yeah, so that is your basic search options. You can save searches, you can look at your recent searches and load searches as well. But for today, that's going to be the total of this lesson. That is your basics on how to use Realtracs.